Dude, it don't fade out. It's
cold
so
turkey.
abrupt.
Cold turkey.
I need you to do something about
kind of
your,
warning.
Hey,
your
no,
skill set.
this is Monday morning,
Nah.
and I caught to say something real. Go ahead.
That's
That's what happened.
all right. Well, let me just go ahead. Good morning. Good morning. What's happening, family? Welcome to the show. It is Michelle Bryant here at WNOV 860 AM 106.5 FM. You are listening to Say Something Real and Real Talk. I hope y'all set them clocks right now. Y'all know it's not 8:03. It's 7:03. Some of y'all gonna get to work early this morning and notice no cars on the parking lot, and you gonna be like, "Is it Columbus Day? What's going?" Oh wait, it's not that anymore.
They
Indigenous
just
People
closed the
Day.
company and didn't tell
Exactly. So some of y'all went to church early yesterday morning, and was salty. So I'm just saying, hey. Pay attention to the clocks this morning. Let me say good morning to the brothers in the studio. What up, Mr. Rod Out? How you do? How you be?
Well, I love them and leave them. That's what I used to do.
Use and abuse them. That was the jam. That's him be humming that all day. Then I laid eyes on you.
It was
Pain before pleasure. Okay, so aside from loving and leaving them, what else
I used to do.
did you do
I don't
anything
do that
productive this weekend? This weekend?
Instead of loving them and leaving them.
That's what I used to do.
That's what I used to do.
Use and abuse
them. Amen.
Then I.
Amen.
Yeah, I'm
eyes
telling
on
my
you.
story. It was pain before pleasure. Amen.
With every measure.
Quality program.
Well,
program.
you Negroes was talking about chicken on Q show the other day. And y'all have a mock chicken conversation once a month on that show. So don't talk to me about no quality programming. And y'all be talking about it like it's the first time y'all ever had the conversation.
Hey, well, speaking of chicken,
No, we ain't speaking of chicken.
Wait,
I was ribbing it.
No,
We ain't speaking
I
of
just
it.
want to ask you.
We ain't speaking of chicken.
I just want to
I mean, talk about it.
I'm
you know,
a chicken hawk.
And he
I
takes
wanna
such
talk about
pride in, I'm a chicken connoisseur. I mean, he's just like,
Well, that's because Keith is really a chicken hawk.
he's really just a chicken.
The chicken hawk, he likes chicken.
I mean,
No, but seriously,
what?
And I'm sure y'all can agree with me. The best chicken sandwich is the original chicken sandwich.
I'm not going to do this with you.
No, seriously.
No, I'm not going to do this.
chicken leg.
No, I'm not going to do this with you.
A chicken leg in white bread.
No, sir. No,
It's the
sir.
best
Not
chicken-
on this show.
It
Not
ain't
on,
the best
not on
chicken
this
sandwich.
show.
I'm just asking.
Wait till 10 o'clock. Wait till 10 o'clock.
Well, woman.
With your foolishness, wait till 10
All
o'clock.
right. Well, since you assist, my weekend was great.
Good.
Unlike Debo, I went to church and stayed.
Why you got throwing? Why you throwing shade, man?
Because it's Monday.
It wasn't necessary. See,
I'm just saying.
this is how stuff gets started.
It is.
You could have just told us about your weekend.
I could have.
But you had to take a jab.
Oh my!
See, now when we got to go to him,
I got the button.
But that's not fair.
Are
Do
we-
what's fair.
But are we saying
If
fair?
you're gonna start it, be able to handle it when it come your way. Don't run to the button.
Okay.
Don't run to the button.
Since you said if you go
Big baby. Don't run to the button.
I've been holding.
No, you
a whole can of
he ain't bothering you.
Yeah,
All
now
we asked you about was your
but
weekend.
it's called cans
See,
on the
this is
shelf.
why we can't
It's
progress
called
as a people.
it's called food in the pantry.
Jermaine, I'm done talking
And I've been
to you.
storing up food in
we'll
the pantry.
store to after Christmas. Because I'm hey Debo, how you doing this morning?
Hello, Michelle. I'm blessed and highly favored this morning.
There he go.
I
man.
am great. Let's proceed with the show.
What?
See what I'm saying?
No, I'm done.
No,
done.
you
That's
can't
all
be
I was
done.
saying.
It's Monday, brother.
You know what?
We ain't saw
See,
you
I'm
all
not-
weekend.
I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole with Jermaine.
A rabbit.
Well,
hole?
that's good. That's
Yeah, so
that's always
I'm going to
good.
be the
Oh.
bigger person this morning.
Yeah, you are.
'Cause the Lord knows I stayed the whole show.
Yeah, you are the bigger person.
Well, look, let me talk to the person I
Wait,
like
did
talking
you just
to
say
the
I
most.
am the bigger person?
You heard it. You seen the movie. You know. Slow.
I ain't slow.
Oh, you slow.
Not-
Everybody else laughed like 5 minutes ago. You just circling back on the
5
question.
minutes, Michelle. We haven't been on that long.
Yeah, we've been on for 8 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me say good morning to the person I like speaking to the most. Hey, Clark. With you, baby.
Dude, that is classic. That who you with is classic.
Oh man, yesterday while I was supposed to be working, I was watching Soul Man, and somebody said, Jermaine, zip it. That's my sorority sister. She said,
Probably one of my
Jermaine,
church members.
zip it.
I'm just saying. What a way to start your week.
Sarah Lynn said, zip it.
The best part of waking up.
I was about to sing it with you.
Come on with.
Folgers in your cup. Okay. Yeah, but I was watching Soul Man. Bernie Mac and
Cussing dude.
Samuel. I mean, yes, what's
Samuel
his name?
L.
Samuel Jackson, yeah.
Man, Samuel Jackson
Hilarious.
is a whole
That
mess. But Bernie Mac, whoever put them together, it was so good.
You will be there without me.
Samuel as a straight man, yeah, it was good. And then it was so crazy at the end, because you see, like when they show Isaac Hayes, and then you realize like we lost both them cats, I think, in the same time frame. Because I think, and it was before. I don't know if it was before the movie came out, but I know at the end they do a tribute to Isaac Hayes and Bernie Mac. So yeah, that man, I was singing with them and cutting up, so it was good. But all right, y'all, a lot to get to this morning. Let me mention something right out the gate. Alderwoman Larissa Taylor, folks ain't got no respect. They just hit you at all hours of the morning, just, like, I'm up. Where her stuff at while I'm talking about her? Where her stuff at? Oh, there it is. Alderwoman Larissa Taylor was like, make sure this gets on ASAP. So I'm happy to oblige because it's happening right away this morning. So Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, Veterans Mental Health and Suicide Awareness Month, Air Force, National Guard. Saying Space Force is so irritating. It's just such a stupid, childish name. Donald Trump, Space Force. It's ignorant. It sounds like something Atlas. No, because Atlas too smart.
Sound like an 80s cartoon.
I mean, dude, it just Space Force. Like it's just the stupidest, no vocabulary having, stupidest. Okay, I said that already, but. You are invited. Join us at City Hall as we honor all who have served in the armed forces and the unveiling of the newly created flag for Veterans Mental Health and Suicide Awareness Month. This is happening this morning at 10 a.m. down at City Hall in the Rotunda. That's 200 East Wells Street. And so this part that was also attached is super cool. They're going to be doing the 22 push-up challenge, and it is going to be also held from 10 a.m. to noon down in the City Hall Rotunda. I'm saying some folks ought to go down there and get it in. Alina did it one year, the 22 push-up challenge, and I thought she was gonna die.
You gotta do 22.
Yeah, you gotta do 22.
22.
Yep, and then the time frame you get it done in. And Lena was like, she started off like, yeah.
She got tired.
She got the 3. It was like, ooh. But 1 and 2 look real good. But yes, she definitely has done that. It would be cool for folks. You got time, go down there and support our veterans. Again, this is Mental Health and Suicide Awareness Month. I will get some data and statistics and actually talk about, what that means. And as I said, in thinking about the folks that are involved in these bombings of these boats off the Caribbean and in other parts of the world where Trump has, ordered these boats to just be bombed, without anybody proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that there were drugs, the fact that we don't execute people for drugs in this country. And, there are men and women, most likely men, because they some sexist, but men who are being forced because they work for the U.S. government in the military to just kill people with no actual proof or no threat of harm of life. and these men have to just go and sleep. You got to live with yourself that you have just killed people, and you don't know who was on those boats. All of the information is shoddy and shady, and you got to wrestle with that later. That's why I said the brother who steps down, who was leading the Navy, that was responsible for some of these strikes, and he raised some concerns. We don't know exactly what he said, but I can't imagine being a soldier, that you are doing something that you know in your heart is something wrong with this, but that you have to do it. So I definitely want to make sure that we are highlighting these people that have given their lives. Their families have sacrificed. And when I say lives, I don't mean necessarily literally, but the amount of time and everything that goes into it. Folks are hitting me up like, Michelle, yeah, he's drawing in plans to go to Nigeria. This man is messing with people all over the world. And Jermaine and I were talking about this before the show started. And, he's like, it's a distraction. It's more than a distraction. It's a distraction. And
Yeah,
because trust me, he starts talking about Christians, which really mean white people.
yeah.
He ain't trying to protect no black Christians. Yeah. There is something else at play. Somebody wants something in Nigeria. Somebody trying to steal something from Nigeria. It's some white man with his hands out trying to figure out how to get his hands on something that Nigeria has. And they have put this in Donald Trump's ear because Donald Trump is not paying attention to what the heck is going on in Nigeria. Just like now, have we heard anything else about South Africa? Now that Elon Musk ain't whispering in his ear, save my white brethren in South Africa from giving back land that was stolen from black people. Have you heard them talk anything else about, we got to bring the white people out of South Africa to protect them? No, you haven't. Because Elon Musk had the ear of this man, and he is a puppet in a lot of regards and can be easily manipulated when people around him who got means, access, and and control and power to be able to help him, he'll help them. So Elon Musk ain't tight with him no more. What else have we heard about South Africa? So there is some white man in his ear talking about Nigeria, and they want to steal something, take something, own something, displace somebody. This is not about protecting no Christians. And like I said, if it is, it definitely ain't about protecting no black Christians. Don't fall for the okie doke. It's not just a distraction. They doing something else over there. And for somebody who stood there talking about, I want to be a president of peace, and he running around trying to get the Nobel Prize for peace, but you steady figuring out a way to start a fight everywhere you go. And as I keep saying, make no mistake, he makes this country less safe with every one of these moves. He makes us less safe with every one of these moves. Whether we are traveling abroad or something ever happens here on American soil, this man, people are watching and people understand, y'all. He will mess with anybody. He will. Oh, wait, except Russia. He will mess with anybody. This man acts like he has some mandate from Jesus and the Lord to be able to go around and decide he's the king. I don't like what you're doing in your country. I'm going to come in your country and bomb and tear up and deploy soldiers. And see, so many of these countries do not have the military wherewithal to fight us back. They don't. They don't have it. When we were stealing and taking all the land from Mexico, that all these people, just got their chest stuck out and puffing about, talking about America, you stole most of that land. You got it in war conflicts. You encroached on Mexico. It wasn't y'all land originally. And so here we are and what I say, yeah, he messing with Hispanics and Latinos now. But if you don't think this going to get to black folks, there is no plan for destruction that don't include us.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So we got a lot to talk about this morning, but I want to make sure that I mention this piece. Thank you, Alderwoman Taylor, for flagging this and making sure that we were aware of it. If you can, please go down. If you're in the area, if you work downtown, you can take a quick little coffee break, take your lunch break early, whatever, duck in the City Hall at 10 a.m. and support these veterans and the folks that are offering this programming because again, I can't imagine what it's like to have seen some of the things that these men and women have seen. And then you got to come home and, everybody's, at the barbecue, kicking it, laughing, talking. We talk about the 4th of July and the fireworks and what those sounds can do to trigger people's PTSD. But the number of men and women who come home and never tell you about what they've been through. They internalize it, hold on to it. So thank you again, Alderwoman Taylor, for flagging that information. And I will say it one more time, and then I will go to the phone line. Where'd she go? Where'd she go? There she go. So we have you are invited. This is Veterans Mental Health and Suicide Awareness Month. City Hall, and we're there going to be honoring all who have served in the armed forces and the unveiling of the newly created flag for Veterans Mental Health and Suicide Awareness Month. 10 a.m. City Hall, 200 East Wells Street. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Michelle.
Hey, Angela, how you doing this morning?
I'm all right, and you?
I'm good.
Okay, so my reason to call you is because Dora Drake has not, no one in her office have returned my call from last week about the MTM cab people.
Right.
So,
because one of the things that we did determine is this is a state issue, not a county issue, and that's why I said that you needed to call Senator Drake's office.
And I did.
So when did you call?
The day you gave me the number, and I called Friday. And I left messages. I called twice, and I hadn't heard from anyone.
Okay.
And today Monday, so I'm gonna try again this morning. But I'm just updating you that I haven't heard from anyone in her office.
All right. Well, trust me, somebody in her office listens, so they will definitely know it today, and then I will call myself and let them know that you have reached out. As soon as I get off the air, I'll call her office. It opens, I think, I don't know if it opens at 8 or 9.
8, yeah.
But I will also call the office and let them know that you have been reaching out and we need somebody to return your phone call.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, have a blessed day.
You too, Angela.
Bye-bye.
Don't get busted on the radio.
Jeez.
Don't get busted out on the radio. Okay. All right. So look, I need to take a quick break. But when we come back, I got a couple of announcements. I will do that right, at the top. In fact, I could do one of them right now, or I'll do two right now. So tomorrow at Good Hope Library from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., there is going to be a a public session, training, conversation called Pathways to Public Office. I was on a phone call last night. I'm a part of this organization, Win with Black Women, and they do weekly calls, and they bring in sisters, some of the most powerful sisters, former president of Spelman, former president of Bennett College, some of the most powerful Black women in this country and abroad, because we had folks on last night from Haiti from Jamaica. They were showing us videos of the NICU and the wards and how everything had gotten destroyed in the hospital. And so one of the presenters, she said in the state of Virginia, 39 Black women are running for office for these various positions tomorrow. There will be people voting on them tomorrow. 39 Black women running for office. So one of the things that Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, EKQ chapter, the Greater Milwaukee Urban League Guild, the Lynx, and the Cream City chapter of the Lynx, and Delta Sigma Theta Milwaukee Alumni chapter have come together to collaborate on is a series of civic engagement trainings. It's called SOAR. And one of the discussions tomorrow is pathways to public office. And if you are someone that is thinking, you might like to run for office, people who would be great as elected officials, you want to understand more about how people get on public boards or commissions, or I don't want to run for office, but I would love to work in a legislative office and work on policy. I'd love to work, for a state agency and work on issues that are important to me. Then this session that's happening tomorrow, it is nonpartisan, but it is going to be so informative and empowering to help you kickstart any journey into the world of politics or public service. This is something that's free. It's open to the public. I will be on a panel. Dr. Myers will be presenting. Wanda Montgomery, village president out of Brown Deer, will be on the panel. Alderwoman Charlotte Moore is on a panel. LaShondra Vernon is talking about the commissions and boards piece. And Jason Fields. I saw Jason Fields Friday night. The hair, locks all flowing, hanging down his back. I'm like, excuse you, what's up with the hair? So this is something that is a really cool opportunity just to learn more. And even if you may not, be interested in running, but you just want to understand this process better to be able to inform people around you, please consider joining us tomorrow, Tuesday, November 4th, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. over at the Good Hope Library. You can register on Eventbrite. And you can look up Pathways to Public Office on Eventbrite, or you can go to ptpo25.eventbrite.com. ptpo25.eventbrite.com. So very, very excited to be partnering with the Women of Alpha Kappa Alpha EKQ and all these other great organizations, the links, Greater Milwaukee Urban, and it's the Greater Milwaukee Urban League Guild. I need to say that. Greater Milwaukee Urban League Guild and the Milwaukee Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority. All right, let me take a quick break and then we will be right back. All right, family, welcome back to the show. Before we went to the break, had a caller, so let me get them in real quick before we get going. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Milwaukee. Good morning, Michelle,
Good
Steve-O,
morning.
Mr. Riot Out, and also Mr. Clark.
Good morning.
I like that. Include Mr. Clark. I like that.
Oh, hey, we have co-workers you have to support. Michelle, I'm from the powerhouse, Washington High School. And in my era, I'm quite sure there's others, we had three great Marks who done something fantastic in this city. We had Mark Thomas, Mark Wade, and Mark Thain.
Right.
Mark Thain lost his life on yesterday in his battle with cancer. Mark was one of 86 Brotherhood black firefighters here in the city of Milwaukee. And you talking about a good brother. Mark and John Jenkins, Mark Thomas, Mark Wade, all of them played football at Washington High School for the Pogo. We had a good team till we came up against people like Custer.
Hmm.
I would mention that. But I just want to honor Mark, his family, for the years I've known him since I was in the sixth grade. And I really appreciate his friendship. And I know there's others out there who knows the family. But if we could just take a moment and to thank that man for his services as a firefighter, the countless calls that he probably went on, and I'm quite sure his illness had something to do with his profession. He also worked for MPS board members here in the city of Milwaukee. He was always doing something, helping in any area that he thought that he could, be successful or to lend a hand in. And I just want to honor him my own way and saying, thank you, man. I love you. I love you. I love you.
All right. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that call. And yes, I had planned to mention this morning that we lost Mark Sane. Mark Sane was a friend. I have known him for a long time, long, long time. And so I certainly know that there are a number of people in the community who share what you've expressed. Will be saddened to learn about it if they had not found out yet. The phones, rang yesterday. I got messages. I ended up reaching out to Mark Wade just to, verify what had happened. And yes, so he held a special place in the heart of not only a lot of people, but this community for the fights that he fought.
Yes.
And also, his role, like you said, even when he could have went somewhere and sat down after doing everything he did with the fire department, he was also on the MPS school board. At one time, he was the president of the school board. He was elected, I think, back in 2016, 17 to do that. So he, when I was working on African World Festival, his wife, Charlotte Canissane, was on the board, and Mark volunteered and worked down at the festival. Like, it was his second job. So there have been a number of things that people will all have their own individual Mark saying stories, but thank you for calling attention to it. It is much appreciated.
Thank you. Love you all.
Yes, sir. Love you back. Yeah, it's some names that when you hear about them passing, you like, oh my God. Um, who, what happened? And so yeah, people are checking in now. They had not heard. Good morning. Condolences to the family. And when there are arrangements that have been announced, we will make sure that the community is aware. You think about that group of brothers that helped to integrate the fire department and had to sue to be able to get onto the fire department. You think about when the promotions happen and you begin to see, Mark Sane and Smoots and, different brothers rising, like I said, John Jinks brothers rising through the ranks, and what this looks like across the board, the way these black men, early foundational work, just everyday brothers who made huge changes and fought back and went in, took those firefighter tests, did well, but still weren't getting the jobs. And, they laid a lot of foundational work. You see him now, and bros all still look good. You see him, you smile like, okay, I see you. Somebody's at the gym at 6 o'clock this morning, but just look good. And so when you realize that Mark, who had been battling cancer, and I think he had gone into remission and then come out of remission, and I don't want to speak too much on it because I don't know all of the details, but that call for brothers to check up on themselves, make sure you're getting those annual visits the way you need to be. If something seems off, go to the doctor. We just did that with Lakeisha's dad yesterday. Stuff was off. They admitted him yesterday. And, but it seems like it's going to be something he'll only probably be in there a day or two and then be out, because we keep having this issue with her dad and dehydration. So, pay attention to your body. Pay attention to your body and just do the annual stuff that you're supposed to do. So thank you. I appreciate that, fam, for you taking a second to acknowledge Brother Mark saying. All right. There are a couple of things that we need to get to. I think we are on what day of the shutdown? The 34th day. So remember, the record is 35 days in terms of the longest shutdown in government history, which happened under the first Trump administration. And today we are on day 34. We know that this won't be resolved by tomorrow. So we are going to surpass the record with this shutdown. And there have been a lot of things that have transpired since we were last together in terms of me being on radio, that people just need to have some basic information and updates about. First of all, a number of folks, okay, people checking in on Mark. A number of folks, began to immediately worry about what was going on with SNAP benefits, as they are, not going to have new benefits loaded onto their cards. But some folks said, hey, I went into a lengthy conversation with the brother who called. I have money on my card. Do I need to go out and spend it? And one of the things I said in that call, just as a precaution, go ahead and go to the store and spend it. I'm so glad I said that, because Jermaine flagged for me something that had went on, that was posted on social media that I had missed. Now I'm going to talk about the lawsuits and federal judges stepping in to tell Trump, y'all need to put some money on these cards because we're not going to starve people while y'all trying to figure out this mess with the government. But Jermaine, can I go to this clip? Where is it? 1 second. Let me pull it back up. Okay. I don't think I got my volume up. And we get right up to the point. Okay. We ready?
Yep.
Oh, hang on. Is it closed? Oh, I got to start it over.
Is. So there are some governors across the country that have decided, yeah, they will declare a state of emergency, or they will put some of their state funding, their rainy day funding, into the coffers for SNAP benefits. Clearly, Ron DeSantis ain't doing that. But the governor of Illinois just stated that he signed, a declaration to allow $20 million to be loaded up into SNAP cards. And the president disabled the machines. So now these folks can't even use their cards because Donald Trump disabled the machines. Now, Donald Trump can stand to lose a few meals, but to keep meals off the tables of children, you got to be one nasty mother.
So that actually is a state representative out of Florida by the name of Angie Nixon. And she was so taken aback by what she had just learned that she literally is in her car in a jogging suit, posting this about what she had just learned. So let me go to J.D. Pritzker and let you hear what he said.
They've done something insidious, the federal government, in addition to Donald Trump being willing to turn off SNAP benefits on November 1, when they do have emergency funds available at the Department of Agriculture, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and they're choosing not to use it. But they've done something even more insidious. They've decided to shut down the SNAP machines so that they can't be used. So even if we were to put money into SNAP accounts, they couldn't be accessed by someone who has a SNAP card.
So you see how this stuff work? You see how this stuff work? What I say? These people are always a step ahead of the game. Or if they figure out that you have found a pathway to be able to help yourself, to help your people, help your cause, your issue, you know, they will figure out a way to stop you. We just had this conversation that there are states that the governors are releasing funds from their contingency funds, emergency funds, rainy day funds to be able to say, look, we're not going to allow residents in our state to go hungry while the United States government figures this mess out, because we can be reimbursed those dollars. We can get that money back. But so the brother just called us, y'all. If you listen to my show on Thursday, the brother just called and said, Michelle, I got excess money left over. I'm wondering if I should spend it. But, y'all said that, Everson said people will be able to still access the balances on their car. We just had this conversation.
Sure.
And what did I say?
Sure.
I said, bruh, I'm going to just tell you, if it was me, I would make sure I went ahead and spent that money.
Yeah.
Because what the Trump administration has now done is say, oh, y'all thought y'all had a way to help yourselves when we trying to cause y'all pain, when we trying to make y'all suffer. Yeah, you can leave the benefits on the card, and states, you can put some money into the system to be able to fund it, but y'all don't control the actual EBT system. Y'all don't control the actual, EBT cards and how people swipe to be able to pay for their food. We still control that. And so to make sure that we are inflicting the maximum amount of pain because we're not getting exactly what we want down to the letter, we're going to disable the machines. So I don't care if you load 20 million on your machines, Pritzker in Illinois. I don't care what you load on your machines in DC, Muriel Bowser. I don't care what you load, on your machines in California. Onto the funds, the machines are not going to work.
That is evil.
While he throws a big gala down at Mar-a-Lago, some Halloween themed Gatsby party, and everybody sitting around, looking all rich and luxurious. And the leader of the nation is at a high-end luxury party while you have your constituents who trying to figure out how they getting ready to eat and pay bills. Jermaine, you want to say something?
Yep, I was going to say, since they want to play like this, they playing in the people's face. We all should get together and cancel Black Friday, cancel Christmas, and hit them in their pockets. Don't shop. Don't spend no money at these stores. Don't buy a G.I. Joe.
Because it will be the business community that ultimately will have the most leverage.
Mm-hmm.
But understand this, on some level, while we're calling for that, there are going to be a lot of people that's not going to be in the game anyway.
I know.
750,000 federal workers have been furloughed coming into the shutdown. So even when those people get their back checks and bounce back, depending on what has gotten, because late fees are accruing.
And I was about to say,
all this stuff is happening, mortgages. And so people are still going to be like tight with their funds anyway, because they've been impacted. We got another, what did we say? Over 350,000 Black women who were in the workforce on January 1, who are no longer in the workforce today. Some, and like I said, he didn't take office on January 20th, 21st. So it wasn't even a full January. And we have over 350,000 Black women that's not in the workforce that was in the workforce before this joker came into office. There will be people that even if they wanted to shop, they're not going to have the resources and the means to be able to do that. 12% of the federal government's workforce were African-American women. 12% of the government's workforce, African-American women.
So with a situation like this, and with the government shutdown, so say for instance, you work for the government and you were renting, you weren't able to pay your bills. Is there any type of help out there that can help people from losing their home and things like that?
So right now, it's on a state-by-state basis, and what people are trying to figure out what they can do. I mean, even just on the food stuff, I was, I saw something that just kind of caught me off guard. The folks at DoorDash, like they created a program offering SNAP recipients free meals.
Oh, that's awesome.
So other stores have been stepping in, and they're saying yes. So just real quickly, for the past week, food banks have been reaching out to our team with the same worry. What happens if the federal government continues? They serve families across country, and these are the food banks that are saying, look, this is a crisis. Our resources are going to be strained, overwhelmed. We need help. A federal judge ordered Trump and his administration to continue paying for food stamps. He has not done that yet. He has a deadline today.
He's not going to do it.
And he's not going to do it because he had his lawyers reach back out to the judge, like, could you provide more clarity? Because I'm not sure we can take money for other things and pay for food. But you took money from other things to pay the military.
So they're trying to buy more time.
Yeah, he dragging it out. They're going to fight it.
Yeah.
And because the DOJ and, the arms of government that could enforce it are not with the courts, they going to help Donald Trump.
Because those are all Trump people.
Yeah. And so nobody knows how long it'll be, even with the judge making the order that they did, whether or not, because there are two orders from two different judges, because it was two different cases brought forward. Both judges said, y'all wrong and out of order for holding up people's food share benefits. And one judge said, no, you need to put that money on that card ASAP. The other judge didn't go that far. She just said, y'all wrong and y'all out of order. And it needs to be remedied as quickly as possible. So she doesn't give them a deadline. The other judge provides a deadline. 42 million people, y'all have heard that number over and over. Of that 42 million, 16 million of those people are children. 8 million of those people are adults 60 and older. So those two numbers combined, that's 24 million people. That's half of the recipients are either children or seniors. 1.6 million are veterans. 1.6 million are veterans. Then there's another contingency that's active duty armed force members who are eligible still for food snap, for food share. So just so people understand that other companies and other people are trying to figure out what can we do. So DoorDash has said that they have launched what they are calling an emergency food response. They are delivering 1 million meals for free through our 300 food bank partners nationwide through November. They're partnering with major grocers, Sprouts, Dollar General, Food Lion, Giant, Stop and Shop, Giant Eagle, all these different stores. They're going to be waiving delivery and service fees for an estimated 300,000 grocery orders for SNAP recipients. So they are also donating food themselves and essentials from what they call the 100 Dash Mart locations to food banks in affected communities. So you are seeing privately people trying to figure out how can we get our communities through, because you right now have a federal government with a leader who does not give a damn about Americans going hungry. He does not care. The idea that he would be somewhere in, black tie, eating some lavishly expensive dinner at his private country club While you got Americans this morning who, or on Saturday morning, woke up with no new benefits loaded on their card, and the ones that did have benefits on their card who have been assured by states, you'll be able to access that. We'll make sure that it's available, and he cuts those cards off. He cuts off the machine and the equipment to be able to utilize those cards. Who does that? Who does that? And what Republicans, because that's one thing, Republicans want, oh, the Democrats are doing this, and the Democrats, y'all not eating because the Democrats, and even Donald Trump, we took the votes for it, and the Democrat, okay, but here goes something minor. That Republicans should be coming out and saying, now, wait a minute. If states want to help their own people, as the federal government, we have no business interfering with the state's right to help their own people. Why would we impede that? Ask me how many Republicans today going to come out and say, turn them damn machines back on. How many Republicans going to do that? Every one of them that you see, you talk to, you need to ask that question. So do you agree? Because this is the other thing. That's why I say they talk out both sides of their neck. We believe in states' rights. The federal government is too big. And, anytime some major decision needs to be made, we want to defer to the states. But then you find out the states doing something to try to help themselves. And who steps in? The folks who claim they can't stand big government. And they utilize the levers of government to stop states, individual states, from helping their people. And of course, somebody, texted me and said, well, doesn't Trump have a thing with Illinois anyway? Yeah, he got a thing with all democratically leaning states and cities. Yeah, he do. Yes, he does. But see, you can't cut it off in Illinois and not cut it off everywhere this is being offered. For people who keep trying to justify, I had a conversation with somebody this weekend who said, that he works with a bunch of, white folks on the job, and the white folks, just was doubling down on they supported Trump, and, we believe he's doing a good job, and he said it was going to be a little painful. And, my friend said he had to just walk away. He was like, you got a mother that's over like 70. Do they get any kind of help whatsoever? They do? Okay. And so you realize that help is not coming. Like, you realize that, right? I know what we make on this job. Ain't nobody balling out on this job. So, it's people that's not getting ready to get energy assistance right now, right? And energy assistance looks different in different communities. Here, it's about helping pay We Energies. In rural communities, it's about filling up that oil tank because your house and your home is heated by oil. I've never had to fill up an oil thing, but I heard it can be like upwards to $500 to fill that up. And there's energy assistance to be able to help people to afford to do that. Those checks should have been released end of October, 1st of November. Those checks aren't being released. So it's people potentially getting ready to go into the winter months. And, we can tell We Energies legislatively, because they are a monopoly, don't cut nobody's stuff off. Do not cut nobody's lights off. Don't cut nobody's heat off. We can do that. We already have a moratorium period in the state anyway, but we can do that. But these small companies who provide the oil that these families fill up their oil tanks with to heat their homes, you don't have the ability to tell those people, don't turn them off them services. Deliver that oil anyway, even though you're not getting ready to get paid for it. So it looks very, very differently. Somebody said Hitler and the Germans had the same behavior as Donald Trump, black tie and parties while they murdered Jewish people. Like, just imagine the imagery of how sick this is, that everybody should be at the table trying to figure out how to get us through this impasse. But this joker is sitting down with a room full of white folks, just, kicking it and parlaying at his private country club. That, of course, raised all of their membership fees when he became president because he continues to pimp the presidency in every possible way that he can. So the rulings that came out from the two judges, Donald Trump and his team, have already pushed back in court. The administration's lawyers said they're, quote, not sure if they have the legal authority to take money from one program and fund the SNAP program. But y'all found legal authority to take money from other programs to fund the military, or at least to make sure they got one of their paychecks. So they've asked for clarity. Quote, our government lawyers do not think we have the legal authority to pay SNAP with certain monies we have available. And now two courts have issued conflicting opinions. The opinions are not conflicting, other than one says you got a deadline, put that money on them cards, and the other one says do it in all due speed. But there's no conflict on the initial part, which is y'all wrong. You're not going to starve Americans while y'all play politics and all y'all getting paid. The legislators making these decisions, the president of the United States, independently wealthy, everybody got money. The people that, are the most impacted, they don't have it. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, which runs the SNAP program, SNAP requires about $8.6 billion in funding every month to provide 41 million Americans these benefits. So that was the other thing, because somebody said, Michelle, how much do we spend a month on SNAP? $8.6 billion. And for all of the tropes and all of the images, this guy, I don't know how anybody watch Fox News. Fox News is disgusting. The national outlet, I don't know how anybody watches that. Like literally, all y'all who watch, y'all need to get an award. Because one of the commentators on Fox was like, yeah, all they do with their SNAP benefits, this is a white boy, all they do with their SNAP benefits is go get their weave done. He literally said that on air.
And that's so crazy because they really not telling the truth. Because if you look at the demographic of people that's on SNAP, it's a lot of white people.
That's the majority, because even though we keep saying, we're about to be a minority majority country, we're not there yet. No. And so they definitely, somebody just said 69% of people that get SNAP is white.
And and it's so funny because they would use the language as, oh, well, that's surplus compared to us and food share and all this other stuff. So when white folks needed it's a surplus.
And let me clear it up. It wasn't Fox. It was Newsmax. Because I wanted to go find it. Anchor Rob Schmidt was on Newsmax, and he said that SNAP recipients use their benefits not to get much needed food, but to, quote, get their weaves done. That's what he said. So Senator Ron Johnson, Schmidt made the eyebrow-raising comment while interviewing Senator Ron Johnson on the food stamp program. And Schmidt said, quote, I don't think Trump's going to allow the leadership to let Chuck Schumer save face on this. I think he's going to make them come back and say, reopen it, or we're just going to continue this forever. You're going to have to own this SNAP mayhem and whatever the hell these people do if they don't get these benefits. You're going to have to start having riots and looting. What do you think happens? This is what he asked Senator Johnson. And, so we rioting and looting. But this is the thing. If you hungry, you going to do what you got to do to feed your kids. Yeah. So, you call it however you want to call it. So Ron Johnson's claimed that since SNAP was created in the 70s, we would fluctuate anywhere between 6 and 10% of Americans on food stamps. Then Obama came in, dramatically increased flex eligibility, now between 10 and 15%. And now you have 42 million people, 12.3% of our population on food stamps. Obama didn't create the conditions for poverty. And I like how Republicans talk about this, but you don't acknowledge you have not raised minimum wage in 20 years. So you want to, drive home the fact that somebody needs help, but you don't put them in position to help themselves fairly, because everybody get a cost of living raise just about. The Milwaukee Police Department getting ready to get 3 years worth of back cost of living increases in a few minutes. Everybody in the corporate sector, in other arenas, even Social Security, you get a cost of living raise. But you let these wealthy companies underpay their people while the CEOs are making millions and millions and millions of dollars. And I'm going to tell you something. If you never understood the example of people getting over on folks, y'all see these stories coming out about all of these coaches in these college coaches that's being fired. I think 11 have been fired so far, 2 more on the chopping block. But the payouts. So the only thing we giving the athletes at for the longest was a scholarship. That's what we was giving them. You get a scholarship. So that's worth about $100,000, depending on school you went to, $140,000. The coaches are getting payouts, the highest payout, $53 million to terminate his contract.
Yep. Sit at home and do nothing.
53 million. So if we paying coaches that kind of money, how could anybody get upset that we said that these young men and these athletes shouldn't be able to own a likeness? Shouldn't be able to do a side deal.
It's called greed.
It is absolutely called greed.
It's called greed.
It is absolute. These young men was like slave chattel. And these folks they get a free education, Michelle. Free education, $53 million. Free education, $53 million. Let's just say that in the same breath and tell me how the people doing the work get paid so much less than the folks that's leading the work. These companies have been relying on the government to subsidize their employees. You got people that work full-time for the state of Wisconsin as an LTE, but they have no medical benefits. But they go to work and work a full-time job every day, and they still have to go get on the Affordable Care Act. So when people trying to paint this picture, y'all, Obama done created these conditions. He didn't create these conditions. At all. They have been allowed to fester for years. You know how many times people have tried to get the minimum wage increase? It took COVID for some of these people to finally be paid somewhat fairly. And when you compare it to what the CEOs and the leadership makes in these organizations, it's in 2 totally different atmospheres. And these people get richer and richer. And then you sit up and you want to throw stones at the people who have the least, and they lazy and they shiftless and they trying to get over. But you got all of these politicians who got insider information, who making trade deals and making money in the market, both Democrats and Republicans, who getting over. Donald Trump done pimped the White House 20 ways from Sunday. This man has become even wealthier by taking that office. That's another reason why he was in such a hurry to get back in there, because he realized Jared Kushner and them go from damn near bankruptcy to now you a multi-billionaire. We got to be willing to tell the truth about what is going on right in front of our eyes. So I will be getting information out to people. There have been a ton of agencies that have done great work, organizations, private individuals who've been on the grind. Like, where are the food resources? How do we find those things? I'm going to work with the station and get a ton of things uploaded. I got a ton of information last night on the call that I was on. But I just, it's just so sad that all you can hear Republicans say is just give us the bill we want and we can reopen the government and we can discuss health care. Discuss it now.
But I thought Trump was saying that he had an excellent plan for health care.
He don't say that now. That was in the last term. He's not said that this year.
So he hasn't revealed.
No, he don't give a damn.
Yeah.
He don't care.
Yeah.
He has not said anything about healthcare and making sure y'all got healthcare for real, for real. There's no team working on it. You know, he's not coming out holding up empty papers, waving them around, talking about on Tuesday, we got a plan. So if the Republicans were serious about working on a healthcare bill or a healthcare compromise, there's nothing stopping them from doing it right now. You sitting around on your behinds pontificating and talking yin yang right now. You could be working on it right now. And not all Republicans. Just get your healthcare specialists and the people on the health committees, the folks you trust to speak on your behalf, put them in the room with Democrats and hammer it out if you really wanted resolution. But see, they following their boys' lead, my way or the highway. Give us exactly what we want, or we gonna break your people. But you ain't gonna break my people. You're gonna break all people.
So didn't he say the last time he was in office, when he had that argument with Chuck Schumer, that if the government shut down, he would own it, and until they give us what we want to open up the government.
Yeah,
But
nothing he says matters because it will change in the course of a conversation. The man say what he got to say to get through the moment in an interview. You know, like.
Yeah, but he was saying because Chuck Schumer said to him, well, you know, if we have a government shutdown, it's going to be on the Republicans. You're going to have to own it. And he turned around and said, well, you know what? I will own it if they don't give us what we want.
But again, how many times have we watched him flip the screen right in front of us?
Yeah.
In a matter of a day. Sometimes in the same conversation, you know, like this man is mad. Let me go to the phone line real quick. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Miss Shelley.
Good morning, bro. How you doing this morning?
I'm fine, but you know what? The reason I'm calling you because I love you. You are the queen of black media, and I love you. If nobody else has to say about it, but you keep on doing what you're doing, and I'll keep on loving you and keep preaching and be a strong black sister. Make us all proud.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate the call this morning. You know,
All right
now, look, that crown.
Nothing but love.
All right, I appreciate it. Hang up so I can say what I want to say.
Got nothing but love for you.
That crown a little heavy, bro. We got to let other folks wear the crown. We going to have to let other folks wear it. So I just wanted to mention that food piece is real. Y'all, be frugal with y'all money. Even folks that's okay. People that got jobs, that's going to work every day, because you may have to help somebody else in your family, a friend, a neighbor. Be frugal. Jermaine is right. Stay out them stoves. Because, and I said stoves.
Them stoves.
Stay out of them, because one of the things that definitely happens is the business community, if they not making no money, they campaign contributions dry up. Because see, y'all costing us money now. And right now, they don't feel the hurt. But it's just a matter of time before it be. I was listening to something last night, and let me just see. This sister who is economist, and she is the former president of Bennett College, Dr. Malveaux, was talking about that we literally have 22 states in America right now whose financial situation, for lack of a better way to say it, have already reached the point of what would be considered a recession. 22 states are in a recession. And then there's information that was put out by Fortune magazine on October 9th of 2025, which said, the title of the article, roughly half of U.S. states are effectively in a recession and hanging on by their fingertips. This was put out by Moody's and, big economic financial organization that pays attention to this stuff. And they have said, despite these figures that we're seeing, 3.8% gross domestic national product, 4.3% unemployment, the large parts of the U.S. are effectively in recession. 22 states. So this is likely where Dr. Malvo got this information. 22 states are contracting, and many lower and middle income households are, quote, hanging on by their fingertips, struggling with debt and slowing wage growth despite these employment numbers. Private data during the federal shutdown shows weakening consumer confidence, particularly among those earning $35,000 or less. Economic softness spreads from smaller manufacturing heavy states to giants like California or to New York. Everything should feel fine in the economy, but make no mistake, they are letting people know we are already in the throes of a recession in at least 22 states in this country. Those 22 states: Connecticut, Delaware, Georgia, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Mississippi, Montana, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Oregon, Rhode Island, South Dakota, Virginia, Washington, D.C., West Virginia, and Wyoming. Already in recession. Let me go to the phone. Let me take a break. I'll take a break and then I'll go right to the phone line. Call if you can. Hang out with me through the break. You listen to Say Something Real, family. We'll be right back. All right, family, welcome back to the show. So, taking a minute to talk about the whole thing that's going on with the shutdown. And let me just mention this. There is an organization, it's called Global State of Women, and they have some grants that are available for women that are experiencing unemployment, the crisis right now. I know they had one. And there have been some organizations that have put up funds for federal workers, but then some that are just helping women across the board. Global State of Women, if you go to their website. So one funding opportunity already closed. And these are sisters who literally are putting their own resources together. So it's not like you're going to go and they got unlimited money and millions of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. They are raising money and cycling that money out as soon as they raise money. So they did small dollar amounts, $500 to $1,500. Already. Now they're doing a $2,500 award. That's just going to a few people. But today was the last day to apply for that one at midnight or 11:59 tonight. Then they have a rolling one that's $500 to $1,500 one-time awards, prioritized for single mothers, caregivers, women hit hard in industries. Funds go directly to the women who need them fast with dignity and respect. So this site is called Global State of Women. I will be getting information to you because there are a number of people that independently on their own that have set up some banks, like food banks, grant funding, banks, to be able to say, hey, we're going to try to support people from either our industry or people in our union or people in our field to make sure that these people can kind of get through until this whole thing is worked out. So that's one of the first ones I wanted to mention to you. Global State of Women. If you or someone that is unemployed, a Black female, go check out this site and we'll see how long it takes the Trump administration to claim its DEI and try to shut it down. Let me go to the phone line. Hey caller, what's happening?
Good morning.
Good morning.
And I want to ditto what an earlier caller said. They said you were queen. I'm going to say you is a masterpiece. and I bust verse, cuss, and and double up on negatives. Emphasis only. Amen.
Amen. Double up on the negatives.
Another thing I want to say is Dr. Rideout.
Yes, sir.
Who picked him out to take Keon's place?
Well, you know what? I think fate just happened. And the good
and
Lord.
you is a mofo of a fit. a muffin of a fit. I'm sorry. Another thing, you give out a lot of information, Michelle, and I take it in, but I know most people aren't taking it. There needs to be a central location where anybody can find all of that information or find the hookup. And I had in my mind, for people who know me, buy a whole lot of stuff. People call me a hoarder, but I buy it at the Restore. They call me the Restore man. And they said, what you going to do with it? I have a lot of stuff that I'm going to give to people who need it. And I have trucks, and I just need somebody to help me load it. And I can deliver it. Beds, stuff like that. And y'all have a good one.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the call. We'll have to cook up with you and see what's going on. And if, people need something, we can figure out, like how people have, what is it called? Backpage, where you can go and, find who's getting rid of stuff in the community, who's selling stuff at a small cost or whatever. So we can do that. Let me just say this real quick too. And then I'm gonna get this other caller. I talked about the one guy on Newsmax talking about, people using SNAP benefits to get their weave done. Another Republican legislator, and thank you, Mo sent this to me. I hadn't seen this one. A Republican legislator, as people are talking about the shutdown, he said he didn't have much sympathy for folks that's getting ready to lose their benefits, telling those relying on food benefits to stop smoking crack. You see how ignorant some of these white folks can be. You see the stereotypes, the tropes, all of the nonsense. Because first of all, why don't you say stop using fentanyl?
Wait,
because then that would have to be your people.
Wait, but didn't Brett Favre get caught?
Yeah, but of course he got no jail time.
But I'm saying he got caught.
Then nothing happened to him.
But he got caught.
Oh wait, no, not Backpage. Thank you, Backpage.
I didn't want to say that.
What's it called though? It's some page.
Marketplace.
Maybe Marketplace. But yeah, Backpage is where you go to.
Yeah, well, you said
to buy bodies.
Yeah, I was just saying, hey.
Look, that's Keisha to my not Backpage.
I was saying,
yeah, I was trying to remember today, but Backpage came to mind.
I didn't even want to put.
I don't know why you didn't say it.
Don't
have me out here talking crazy.
I was just say, hey.
No, it ain't Craigslist, Keisha. It's something else. It's Marketplace.
I thought it was a Marketplace.
Yeah. Yeah. See, she all.
Yeah, Marketplace on
like
Facebook and stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Marketplace.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to say, this Republican, let's see if I can get his name, but he's talking about something get off crack. I'm like, y'all so damn ignorant. Don't y'all get tired of saying the same ignorant stuff all the time? You just ignorant. First of all, more white people get benefits than black people. I gave numbers this morning that said over 50% of the people who receive SNAP benefits are children. So they not nowhere doing no damn crack, or seniors over 60. 1.6 million, it was 1.3 or 1.6 million are veterans, people who have served this country. But it's certain people, this is what they like to play into. And it's times of angst and crisis and frustration when people show you who they really are. Your true colors emerge and show through. Dion, like Michelle, say it again. 69% of all SNAP recipients are white. That's damn near 70% of the program. But you sit up and want to talk that mess. And the other thing, a whole bunch of these red states that depend on blue states for money, because y'all don't have enough people in y'all states to make enough money to support your state. So you whip on California, but you need California. You whip on New York, but you need New York. The state, Republicans whip on Milwaukee, but you need Milwaukee. And all the black and brown folks and diverse people and companies here, you need us. If we wasn't showing up to the party, good luck, Wisconsin. All y'all will be on struggle if our money wasn't in the pot. And then you cry because you got to do something for the people that's doing the most for your damn state, your country, and your community. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening? Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, thank you for calling.
But you were talking about EBT machines being shut off and things like that. But I was talking to a manager at Walmart, and I was told that their EBT system is up and running. Their machines are working fine. And there's a lot of confusion because some of the people, they don't have anything on their card to start with. And they are coming into the stores and they are trying to use it. And then they think that the system is down, but the system is up and working. And if people have internet, they can check with Walmart, they can check with any grocery store to find out before they step in the store. And the state sends out.
So we have to be clear.
To people.
Well, hang on one second, bro, because we have to be clear. Because the state of Illinois, their governor came out and made it clear, and Donald Trump's administration made it clear that they had disconnected the ability for people to use their EBT cards if they had a balance on it or not. That they did. I played the clip of the governor of Illinois talking about it himself. I played a clip of the state representative from Florida, Angie Nixon, talking about. That's why I played their clips. These are the governor of Illinois, the state representative in Florida, who said, no, the machines have been turned off. So it may not be in every area, but these are definitely happening and examples of it happening around the country.
Well, it may be happening in Illinois.
And if I
and
ask
in
the
Florida.
question, did the EBT cards work on October 31st versus did the EBT cards work on November 1st, 2nd, or 3rd? The answers can be different. So
Walmart
when did the
has
question
been
get
accepting-
asked?
They have been accepting EBT since yesterday. And Amazon has put out a statement stating that their EBT network is open and ready, and it is not shut down. So if anyone want to order groceries from Amazon, they can do that. And there's just a lot of confusion. Some people, they don't
But
have
again, making sure that people understand, if you have been, the only time you can use that EBT card is if you had benefits left on your card. And the
exactly.
minute you use that, then it's a wrap. And if you didn't have anything, that there is nothing that's going to be loaded onto your card. And so,
Exactly.
yeah, some of these people are showing up because they're not following the news and they don't know that their benefits were going to be impacted and affected.
Mhm.
But yes.
All right, thank you.
All right, I appreciate the call. And that's why I said we got to be consistent from place to place, because different states have tried to step in and intervene to help their people. And Trump has systematically gone after different states to be able to do certain things. It will be funny though, because with even Amazon saying, yep, we're going to accept EBT for SNAP and cash assistance. And I'm just trying to make sure, I want to look and see most relative, because who's at the table making donations to the ballroom? Who's at the table doing X, Y, and Z? Amazon. So yes, they do accept EBT payments, but will their stuff also get caught up in this situation? And it will be funny who Trump chooses to stop and who he chooses to allow to do certain things. But yeah, it's definitely people that are being affected and impacted by this man turning these machines off. That's why I had you listen and hear it from the governor's mouth. All right, y'all, I gotta take a break. I'll be right back. Right, family. So one of the things that I wanted to do this morning, and I'm running out of time, and I'll have to pick it up tomorrow because it certainly will be most impactful as well. Then, is to let people know that even though we don't have an election in Wisconsin this fall season, normally we would have been preparing to go to the polls tomorrow. Would have already gone through primaries in August, but we didn't have an election on the ballot for this fall. But we got 4 next year. We got, 2 generals, 2 primaries. But there are people in Virginia, in New York, in Texas, in New Jersey, that in California, that are all heading to the polls tomorrow. Early voting is over in these states. New York saw like 750,000 people that showed up in one, aspect to vote early. Like, these numbers got people like looking sideways, like what in the world is happening? And there are a number of key things that are going on. So in California, voters are being asked about the redistricting map. When Donald Trump tells the folks in Texas, get me additional seats so that I can secure the House and make sure we got, control, and we ain't got to worry about the Democrats. We can do anything we want to, just steamroll the government and get what we want. Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, said, how long? Because, see, we can't stop you from stealing power from folks in Texas, but inadvertently, indirectly, you end up stealing power from my voters too. Because if you shift the makeup of these districts so that you guarantee a Republican controlled House of Representatives, then California gonna get stiffed in the deal too. And we're not getting ready to just take that. This is Cali. So we are going to go to our voters, unlike what Republicans did, and just change the redistricting maps and, to benefit Republicans and not even get 8 people a say, messed over all the black and brown folks in the state of Texas. California said, we're going to let our voters weigh in because we have a system that our voters have to approve in terms of what's going on. So they have what's called Proposition 50, and it is going to require temporary use, not permanent, temporary use of congressional district maps through 2030. So this is to try to offset what they do in Texas. California got 40 million people. 40 million people, 6 million people, almost 7 million people live in Wisconsin. 40 million people live in Cali. So they have the ability, numbers wise, to offset what Texas is doing. But then other red states start getting in on it and saying, okay, we'll cheat our residents out of seats here too. We'll cheat the black and the brown folks out of representation in our state. We'll help. And so now you got Illinois saying, oh, we'll get in the game. Minnesota saying we'll get in the game, because these are democratically controlled states. Yeah, we can help. So now Donald Trump sets off this whole series of events where you have states that are trying to figure out how to protect themselves from losing their voice. California, Proposition 50. If you know somebody in California, you need to be calling folks out there and saying, get your butt to the polls if you didn't vote already. If you know somebody in the state of California, please call them and say, get to the polls so that we can make sure that Proposition 50 passes. New Jersey, there is a race for governor in New Jersey, and it has heated up. Barack Obama out on the campaign trail, and Kamala Harris out on the campaign trail. And when I say this race in New Jersey is going to be something else, because number one, you didn't realize how much power the governor in New Jersey has. Many of the things that we elect people for, attorney general, state treasurer, these are all appointments in Jersey. Like, it's crazy. They are saying that this is probably the most powerful governor in the nation because of all the positions that he or she gets to appoint. So the Democrat is Mickey Sherrill, and the Republican, Jack Ciattarelli, and it is a dogfight. It is a absolute dogfight going on in New Jersey. So just so you know, it is a race that we're gonna keep our eyes on tomorrow. I'll get more into the details. I haven't done a whole lot on this race, but we will be paying attention to that. The polls are favoring the Democrat, but we will see. We will see. In Virginia. Virginia is where I said earlier today that they have 39 black women on the ballot in Virginia, but there is a race. Spanberger and actually, a sister, Earl Sears, her first name is Winsome. She was the Republican lieutenant governor. Now she's running for governor. Conveniently, Donald Trump hasn't come out to support the black woman running for governor in Virginia. Let's say that again. Trump has not come out to support the black woman running for governor in Virginia, even though she is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That hasn't stopped him from endorsing all the other crazies. But weirdly enough, guess who ain't getting no support from Donald Trump? The black Republican. So we're paying attention to that race. It is going to be something. And then in Texas, 18th Assembly, congressional seat, 18th District, trying to figure out if they're going to be able to swing that so that it goes out of the hands of traditionally held black folks to potentially a Republican in that area, black folks being Democrats, and that 18th congressional district race is going to be nothing short of crazy. People are so concerned about what could be happening. This is a special election for that seat. There were 16 candidates running in that seat when this whole thing started out. So we will see how this whole thing emerges, but there is a lot at stake as we look around the country. I will break these races down first part of the morning. We got to talk about them and make sure that people understand. So if you have family members in New Jersey, family members in New York, family members in Virginia, family members in Texas, make sure California, make sure you are reaching out to them to say, are you participating? Do you know what's going on? Have you voted? Do you have a plan to go vote tomorrow? Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening? Hello? Hello?
Hey, good morning, Michelle.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Michelle, is it okay if I go back to the SNAP benefit for
Yes,
one
ma'am.
minute?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. My adult son received SNAP benefits.
Okay.
We received a letter in the mail about 2.5 weeks ago saying if you do not use your funds come November 1st, you will lose the funds that you have on that card. So what the governor is saying is true. The governor of Illinois is true. So on Friday, which was Halloween, I went into my local Aldi, and there was a lady in front of me. She used her SNAP card. And when she finished, you know how they can see how much is on the card?
Mm-hmm.
The cashier told her, she said, you have $32 and some odd cents left on this card. And if you don't use it today, you will lose it. So that is a fact. They did send letters in the mail that we would be losing it if we didn't use it all. My son only had 49 cents left on his, and I wouldn't use it. So, you know, if you don't use it, you will lose it. And now, not only did we get the letters, so the people in these grocery store chains knew that also. So with him talking about Walmart and the cards are working, that's not true. I mean, we receive it. So I know personally, firsthand, that is not true.
And just so we're clear, if there was a balance left and the shutdown occurred and they didn't allow access to balances, depending on where you were or whatever, once the shutdown was over, you'd be able to go back and use that balance. But
nope,
yeah,
it didn't say that. No, no, Michelle. That letter just stated that if you don't use the funds that you have on that SNAP card by the 31st, come the 1st of November, you will lose that balance that you have. And plus, we're not going to get anything for November.
Do me a favor. If you get a chance, take a picture of that letter if you still have it and send it to me, okay?
Okay. All right, dear. I'll do that.
And Jermaine, and I'm gonna give you I'll let you hang up and I'm gonna give you my cell phone number. Send me that a
Michelle,
picture.
I got your number.
Okay, well then send me a picture of the letter in the text. Thank you, babe.
Dear.
I appreciate
All
you.
right.
Because we want to make sure we got as much clarity as possible.
Michelle number.
You know what? Whatever.
Everybody got Michelle number.
Whatever. We got another call. Let's go to the phone line, please. Hey, caller, what's happening?
I forgot to make a couple points when I called earlier.
Okay, what you got?
There is no money problem with the United States. The money rules. We live in a plutocracy. When we had, I think it was Trump's first term, he allowed the big money people to bring them funds from out offshore back to the United States so it could benefit the United States. They brought their money back and they bought their own stock. And when they buy their own stock, that shoots the price of stock up. When the stock starts to fall, the big money people take their money out, leave the other people holding the bag and the government holding the bag. This has been going on for too long. We don't have a money problem. It's just the money runs the government. How is Elon Musk the richest person in the world? Government contracts. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Thank you for the call. And so someone else just flagged me and they said that they were able to use their EBT card in the store yesterday. Wisconsin sent out an updated letter, if I'm not mistaken, or they, let people know that if you had a balance on your card that you could use it. But obviously no new monies would be put on your card. So that was something that Wisconsin has said that in this state, you would be able to use that balance. This is not the case in every state. Some of this stuff is being done on a state by state basis. That's why I said, and I was specific about in Illinois, what Pritzker had said had happened in Illinois. And there are other states that are reporting a similar situation. So it seems like the administration is picking and choosing who they are allowing to do what in the states, contingent upon what kind of relationship they may have with the states or whatever. So Illinois said they stuff got shut down. In Wisconsin, if you got a balance on the card, you were able to use, it looks like the balance, at least some people have said, we heard from just one more person who said, nope, I was, somebody I know was able to use their card yesterday because they had a balance left on there and they were able to use it. Some of it may be individual stores, because I know I had heard from some stores who had said that the stores weren't going to deal with EBT at all until this was resolved. They wasn't doing the back and forth. They didn't want to have to explain nothing to the customers. They didn't want to be put in the middle. Yeah, you got to wait. And so, but people were like, they didn't want to get caught in the middle trying to explain to customers, arguing with customers about you can't. So they were just saying, hey, until this is resolved, we're not dealing with EBT. We will try to keep the information as updated as possible. And just remember, y'all, different people can have different experiences. The brother said this is what he heard. The sister said, I got the letter 2 weeks ago. We know there's something updated that came out because I even got corrected on the air last week when folks said, nope, Michelle, something came out saying that if you had a balance, you could still use that in November. Trump is picking on some states. He's not picking on others. It's confusing, but that's because we got a fool in the White House who has no sense of order and who thrives on chaos. Let me go to the next caller. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Michelle. This is John. How you doing?
Hey, John, how you doing this morning?
Good. I won't take the time. I was trying to research what exactly was the issue with the hold-up on the bill. Is it the Obamacare or Affordable Care Act? Is it that they don't want to give it the credits? Is that the basic issue?
So one of the things is that, yes, we knew that the subsidies for Obamacare were scheduled to run out at the end of this year. Republicans have ducked and dodged dealing with that and doing something so that people can still have affordable health care. And so they wanted to be able to pass this temporary funding bill and saying, okay, just pass the bill and we'll deal with the healthcare situation after that. And the Democrats realize that this is their only point of leverage. They have no other way to bring the Republicans to the table if they don't fight them right now, because the Republicans have kicked this can down the field for, months, years. And the Democrats realize this is put up or shut up. There is nothing else left to do. December 31st, the game changes. People have already started getting notices. Jermaine just shared this morning. Somebody he knows, how much did they say their premium was right now, Jermaine?
Well, it went from $44 a month to $1,044.
So that's
per month.
Yes.
And we have people who are saying that, their stuff was doubling and tripling because they were going to take these subsidies away. So the Democrats know they cannot trust Republicans on health care. Republicans have not done anything on health care in over a decade. And so promises that, trust us, we'll deal with it. Just sign this temporary, stopgap measure on the budget and we'll talk about it. Nah, this is the only leverage that they have. So they're going to have to hold fast on that. But that's what it's about.
Do you have a second? I just wanted to ask, did the original Affordable Care Act have an original actual direct subsidy, and now they're happy to just get the tax credit? Is that kind of direction it's on?
Stuff was, hey, Alex, no, and I have to go back and remember how everything was structured, but it's always been like the tax subsidy piece,
Okay.
And so, like I said, Republicans have had forever. If they were serious about doing something about healthcare, they would. And this is going to also have additional cuts. So they did huge cuts in that big, beautiful nonsense bill that they passed already. There are additional things that would have happened. So that's why they said, okay, we're just going to go to a clean spending bill. We're not going to add in any of the other stuff, just a spending bill. But folks on the Democratic side of the ticket, they understand. You're talking about millions of elderly, disabled, low-income people, children that are all going to be impacted. And this is the hill to die on. They literally, because we have to pay for that tax break that was just given to the wealthiest people in this country. And they have to figure out where to pull these dollars from.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk. And I got to talk. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you. No problem. No problem.
Have fun.
But I'm sorry, y'all. It is, healthcare is a huge crux. Republicans are more than happy to see Obama the Affordable Care Act go away. They were upset, pissed off when it got passed. They've been angry about it ever since, but yet they've not done the hard work to produce anything that the American public could use to come close to what was done with the Affordable Care Act. There is nothing that they have been able to do to come close. And they've not shown any interest in doing the hard work. So when Mike Johnson and them all stand up there, they don't want y'all to eat. They don't want y'all to, the Democrats don't want y'all to eat. The Republicans don't want you to be able to go to the doctor. They don't want you to be able to be protected if you got a pre-existing condition. And again, the largest transfer of wealth in terms of stuff that helped people that were marginalized, low income, to people that are the wealthiest people in this nation. Let this speak to priorities. This man is building a ballroom to accommodate 1,000 people. How is that a priority in the climate that we are in right now? Why would that be a priority? You see where his head is? So I got to get ready to get out of here. Caller, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to get you in before I end the show today, but we will talk a lot tomorrow. Got guests calling in tomorrow. Interesting conversation. UWM professors talking about mapping out racism, how people have responded to it in the city in relationship to some of these covenants that we have seen that says you can't sell your property to a black person, X, Y, and Z. So that is a wrap for the show today. But I will say 1,000,000 times, stay woke. They tried to turn it into something bad. Black folks, we know what stay woke mean. We know what it mean. When your uncle used to look at your daddy, stay woke, bro. We know what it means. So black folks, stay woke. Black allies, stay woke. Black supporters, stay woke. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow, bros in the studio. I appreciate you. Family, talk to y'all tomorrow.